In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a Honeywell thermostat. These are step-by-step instructions. I will be replacing this old thermostat with this smart Wi-Fi thermostat. If you're new to this channel, my name's Josh. The channel's all about DIY and saving a ton of money, so be sure to subscribe, ring that bell so you get notification every time I release a new video, and hammer that like button for me. That's all I ask in return for making this video. This is pretty easy to do, but let's get started. The tools needed for this installation is going to be a flathead screwdriver, and this is a small flathead screwdriver that's for precision electronics. And then we got a torpedo level, a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, and if you don't have an impact driver that's a number 2, that's fine. You can just use this screwdriver, but I'm going to be using this because it's going to be a little quicker than using this hand screwdriver. This is the thermostat I'll be installing in this video. It's the RTH9585WF, and this is a smart thermostat that's Wi-Fi enabled. And also it's made by Honeywell, like I said earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox this and show you what's inside the package. And if any point in this video you want to purchase this thermostat, I'll put a link in the description below so you can make that purchase. So after you open up the top of it, we're going to open up the packaging itself. And it first comes with the user guide. This is very important. And then we got the face of the thermostat right here. Very sleek and modern looking. I really like the looks of this. And inside of the bottom, looks like we have the base plate and we got some mounting screws. And this is just some extra literature in the bottom here. So it looks like we got everything ready to go. So now let's get to installing this thermostat. The very first thing I'm going to do before I even touch the old thermostat is come over to the breaker box and locate the HVAC system and turn the breakers off that's powering the HVAC system, so that way it kills the power going to that thermostat. I'm now back here in front of the old thermostat. I'm just going to pop the face of this thermostat right off from the base. And now it's going to expose the base plate that's going to house all the wiring. Before I go any further, I'm just going to take a snapshot of the wiring on this thermostat, just in case we get the wires mixed up or had confusion down the road. Very important to do this step. Now I'm going to remove the wires out of each one of these terminals and take this base plate right off the wall by removing these Phillips screws. I'm now simply going to take the flat screwdriver and undo the terminals that have the wires that are placed in them. Before I go any further, I wanted to explain a little bit about the wiring here. This has 6 18-gauge wires for this thermostat wire, and there is one wire here that's very important. This blue wire, it's known as the C wire. In other words, it's also known as the common wire, and this is going to be in the more modern HVAC systems. This is going to help with the more complex thermostats as far as the functionality. And also, I have this brown wire here. This brown wire is going to be for the heat pump. And typically, you would have 5 wires here, not 6, even if it was a modern system. The reason why I have 6 wires is because I have a little bit more of a complex heat pump. So that's why that is the way it is. So if you do not have this C wire, you may have to run a new thermostat wire that has it in it down to your inside unit in order to have a smart thermostat. So just FYI. I found this in the literature. It says no C wire, no problem. Evidently, if you don't have a C wire, there is an adapter they make that Honeywell will get for you if you need it. At this point, you can either use your number 2 Phillips screwdriver and just remove these screws, but I'm going to use my impact driver because it's a little quicker. And now I'm just going to pop it right off from the wall. I'm now going to install the base plate that came with the new thermostat. I'm going to fish these thermostat wires right through the middle opening here in the base plate. I'm going to try to use the same screw holes in which the Phillips screws just came out of. So I'm just going to line it up with them initially. And then after I do that, I'm just going to fish these screws back into those holes. As you can see, there's a vertical slot here and a horizontal slot. I'm just going to tighten up the horizontal slot because I know I don't need to shift it left or right to be that accurate. So I'm just going to go ahead and tighten this one down. And you don't want to over tighten this because it can crack the plate. So just snug it down good. And now I'm going to use my torpedo level to get this perfectly level. Very important. So we're going to set this right on top of the thermostat base. And now we're going to shift it until our top bubble is right between those two lines. That looks really good there. And now I'm going to tighten up this last Phillips screw. I have a mounting block behind my drywall screws to anchor the base plate, but you may have to install drywall anchors here if there is not a block behind the drywall. For whatever reason you did not have a camera phone on you or a camera in general and could not take the pictures of the old wiring, they sent labels that you could have labeled these wires as you remove them from the old base plate. So since I had a camera, I did not have to do this. So all I'm going to do is take a look back at the picture I did earlier, and here it is now, and I can more or less have a labeling guide here, and it's going to correspond with the wiring that's on the new base plate. So as I know, if we take a look, we have the red wire here, and we're going to pull this up, and we know that's clearly the red wire that was here in the picture. So we know that's going to go over here. And we know the O is the brown wire. So the brown wire we're going to go ahead and place up here where it says OB. So I'm going to push this up here towards that area. And then the white wire is going to go down here where it says W2, because that's for the white 2. And it came here out of this slot. And then we got our common wire that is represented by the C. So that's going to be in the very top. And then we got our yellow. It's going to go to the Y. And then our G for green, which is going to go right below the Y. So now that I know exactly where I'm headed, I'm just going to snap them into place. And again, use those labels if you did not have a picture of the old wiring. In order to snap these into place, it's very simple. All you have to do is make sure your wire is relatively straight. It's going to slide right into the slot of the terminal until you feel it kind of click into place. So like so. And now the next one is going to be the brown wire. I'm going to fold it up here. Again, flex it over. We're going to slide it right into that terminal. And next is going to be our yellow. That's for the Y. And then G for green. Then we're going to go ahead and put our white in the W2. Now the red goes into the R. And for whatever reason, if you had a R, which is the red wire, and an RC wire both, if you had both of those, you would remove this little jumper loop that's right here. But in this case, I just have the one R wire, which is the red. And that's all there is to the wiring going into the new base thermostat. Now I'm going to snap the face right over this new plate. I'm now going to install the new face plate to this Honeywell thermostat, and it's just going to snap right over the base plate. And you'll hear it click into place. Now that the thermostat's hooked up, I'm going to come back to the breaker box and turn all the breakers on to the HVAC system. Now that the breaker's on, as you can see, the thermostat is now powering up. The first option is going to be what language we want. We're going to go with English. Now, is this for a home or a business? It's for a home. And location name, call it thermostat. That's fine for now. I can change it later if I want. And this is for heating and cooling. And I have a heat pump. Cooling changeover valve, hit next. And we have stage 1 or stage 2. Both Y wires, we just had the one Y wire, so we're going to go stage 1. And do I have backup heat? Yes, I do. Okay, so now it's going to utilize that. Do I want to connect to Wi-Fi? Yes, so I'll do that now. So clearly from here you would select your Wi-Fi network just by touching the network, and then you're going to enter your password on the next screen. Now connecting to my Wi-Fi, and it has connected successfully. and register online. I will be doing this, so I'm going to do that now. I'm just here on the Honeywell website, and I just got to enter the MAC ID and the CRC number that was given off the thermostat. I now have to verify the device by setting the heat point to 69. So now before I change the heat point, I'm going to hit done. And now I want to set to mode heat to 69. We'll do permanent. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the computer and verify that. And now that's done, we're going to verify and submit. And it's going to finish registering the Wi-Fi thermostat. As you can see, it says waiting for update, and it's still trying to register with Honeywell at this time. It's been about a minute and it's still working on doing that. Now it says thermostat registration successful. I've downloaded the Total Comfort Control Honeywell app. As you can see, this corresponds with the thermostat, so now I can adjust everything on my cell phone and the thermostat. So it's great. I can be anywhere in the country and adjust my heat. Let's say I want to go up, set it to 74, submit, and it's going to register on the thermostat. As you can see, it kicked over to 74 right here, and it's very nice because now anywhere and you want to change your thermostat, you can easily. So now I want to walk you through some of the settings here on the thermostat. I switched over to cooling just to verify everything was working fine, and it is. So now I'm going to turn it off just so you see how to do that. So we're going to go to mode, then we're going to hit off. And this screen is how you would go from heat to cool to emergency heat or off, and then hit done. Now that we have the system off, I'm just going to run you through the home screen. This is the temperature in which the house is currently right here where the thermostat is. The mode will be here, and right now it's on off. This is the indoor humidity, this is the outdoor temperature, and this is the outdoor humidity. So it's nice to have this reference. And this is the current time. And now if we go to the fan, this is how you turn the fan on, automatic or circulate. Always have it on automatic, that way it just kicks on and off with the settings that you just heard the fan kick off now since I turned off the system. But right now the fan is on idle. And if we go over here to mode we already talked about. And if we go over here to settings, this is where all the cool features are. So right here we can go to create and edit schedule, and you can go where it walks you through it or do it yourself. I'd recommend the guide, but show the current schedule now. This is what it is if I had the schedule on, and you can alter any of these settings. You can alter the heat setting, the cool setting, the fan, what time it kicks on and off. Everything can be done here. So this is a very nice setup if you're worried about turning this thing off and on, where you don't have to control it at all. I personally don't use this. I just manually turn the temperature up and down myself, but it's a nice feature if you wanted to do that. And let's go over to view schedule summary. Again, this is kind of based on that schedule as well. And I do not have that on at this time. And if we go to weather, this is just a quick snippet of the weather for the rest of the day. And if we go back, this, and we're just going to click done here. Now if we go to color themes, this is the really cool selling feature of this thermostat. If you don't like the blue, let's say you wanted to do something more vibrant, let's go with this orange color or this light orange color, which is a kind of a peach. Or you can go to a yellow or whatever you want to do. The options here, let's just go with green for now. I like green. So it's going to go through and start altering the display. And now we're in green theme. And if we go down to the rest of the options, we have vacation mode. This is kind of like schedule, other than this is going to be a temporary vacation mode setting. Then if we go, we're going to cancel that. Preferences. This is for all the other settings that's within the device. You can set reminders, schedule options, backlight, smart response technology. I'm just going to tap that and it's on. And if all else fails, you can restore factory settings. So that way, if you mess something up and you really want to restart from the beginning, you can. And that's all there is to those settings. And we're going to go back to the menu. Screen clean, deactivate screen for 30 seconds. So it recommends deactivating the screen to clean it. So we're going to not do that for now. And that's how you set up your Wi-Fi. You got your security settings. You got system setup. We already did all this. So there you have it. That was a quick little simple rundown. And now that the indoors is 72, we want to keep it there. So I'm just going to go to mode and we're going to go back to heat and I'm going to hit done. And we're going to set it at 70. Actually, I like to keep it about 70. And if you do temporary, it won't keep it at this setting until it kicks in to the schedule, I believe. But with permanent, you set it and it's permanently set here, permanent hold, and it won't change until you change it. So that's just a little rundown on how this thermostat works. If you would like to see the basics on this HVAC system, check out this video. It'll help you out.